Hey there and welcome to another Dave Does video, and today we're doing an originals versus a cover, and today we're checking out Skid Row's 18 and Life versus Gonjalez 18 and Life rendition. Now, we know this is not going to be a direct cover, this is going to be literally a vocal cover, so we want to see how well Gonjalez can do. Now, considering I've heard him already do a cover of a Steelheart song, actually two covers of a Steelheart songs, I know that he can hit these notes, but 18 and Life is all about the emotion. I mean, when you hear Sebastian Bach sing it, it is more about how it connects. So I'm going to be looking for it from I'm going to be looking for Gonjalez. Want to see how if he can convey that emotion in his singing, or if he's just literally going to sing it note for note. But before we do that, we need to hear the original, so we're going to hear both versions and see and compare at the end. So let's just go straight into this. Skid Row, 18 and Life. Count it in. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, right, so we're going to just load up the next one. So that was Skid Row's version of 18 and Life, or their version, or the original version, if you want to call it, rather than their version. So there's certain key points from a vocal point of view that I'll be looking out for from the Deden's or Den's version. So specifically, I mean, there's the early part of the songs are a lot more about the inflection of the vocals, so the emotional elements of it, whereas the bit before the solo, that's where you start to hear some of the more push from the vocals comes through, and then from after the vocals you're getting a lot more of the or after the solo you're getting a lot more of the high notes, which I know that he can do from his Steelheart covers. So there's certain elements. We know that he has a raspy enough voice. We know that he can do like the kind of the Axl Rosy type of style of singing as well, so I know that he's going to get the distorted elements, but I just want to see how he's going to convey the kind of emotional element, or if it's just going to be quite harsh and brutal. Let's have a look. We know he smokes, we know he drinks, and we know we keep saying in his videos that he really shouldn't do it, but if it works for him, hey ho, let's just see how he does. Count it his version in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so that was Gonzalez's version of 18 and Life. So, let's talk about Dendon Gonzalez. He is obviously a very, very talented singer, and he's got huge range. And on that particular cover, he showcased probably one element really, really well. So when he was punching up and he was going for those high sections and he was doing the whole big, slightly distorted vocals and doing all the metal screaming, did it amazingly well. The lower level singing, when he was doing like 18 and Life, you've got it, 18 and Life, you know, he was in key mostly, but what he was also doing is it was very lazy. Now his pronunciation wasn't great. Now English is not, I'm going to guess from his singing, is not his first language. So although he said thank you at the end, I guess he speaks English, but is not, there's certain elements of the pronunciation that he struggled with on the singing. So there was a lot of blurred words, which again, if someone is singing from another language and singing into English, you get that. I hear that in a lot of bands like Love Bites and Hua Chen Yu when he sings in English. I've heard that as well. So you do get elements of that, and that's acceptable. But there was wavering in there. It felt a little bit on the cleaner sections, on the lower level stuff where you didn't have to really push. It felt a little half-hearted on the cover, and it felt, because he was just sitting there chained, like smoking away, singing. It felt like it was something he was doing. He went It was almost like he just went, press record, let's just do it, film it, yeah, that'll do, post it. It felt like he couldn't be bothered to use all of his talent, and that's what I'm saying here. He's got amazing talent, and he could have absolutely smashed it out the park, as good as the Skid Row album version. But with his singing on there, he reminded me of Sebastian Bach's live version. And we all know Sebastian Bach can sing, but live he struggles at certain points. And if I was to take Sebastian Bach's lower level, would be better than what Dendon did, but he probably does better than what Sebastian Bach does on the higher version. So you'd merge the two together, you'd probably get a good album quality version from a live performance. But he could have done an album quality performance live. And that's what a little frustrating from that video was. I know he could do better than that. He's still better than me. Damn right, he's damn better than a lot of vocalists. And I'm always impressed by checking him out. But it's one of those ones that if you listen to it, you go, he's a great vocalist. He hit those highs and just knocked it out of the park. But why did he not just put a little bit more effort and just nail the lower level stuff? And I'm sure I'm going to get loads of hate from it saying I don't know what I'm talking about, yada yada yada. But just if you heard the first version, we heard the first version of the album, then go back and listen to the Dendon one again. I ask you, please do, if you think I'm talking crap. Go and listen to it again and listen to how he sings the lower level stuff, the choruses and so forth, before he has to push for his vocals. Whenever he pushes, it fills out, it solidifies. When he's singing the lower level stuff, he's using about 10% power and it wavers all over the place. And that's why I'm a little bit disappointed by it. And out of the two, I'm going to go with obviously the Skid Row version, because it's the album version versus the live. I'm sure if I wanted to do a live version of it, he probably would beat Sebastian Bach on a live version, because Sebastian Bach really struggled to perform that live. We all know that he can do the power, but he was usually quite drunk or off his face when he performed live quite a lot. I'm sure he was, from the rumours have it. But I don't know, you let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you like the video, please do subscribe, click the bell icon, like, share. If you don't like the video, dislike the video, but still subscribe and give me some hatred on some other videos. Either way, that of course is how Dave does it.